Arrested Development.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I went completely off script for that one.
I was like, wait, this is a dark episode. And what Pity Blue I missed? Who's Ricky Schroeder?
I gotta say, Scoggins, though, when Russell gets eaten, Scoggins
has a mental break.
Which is fair.
Yes.
I mean, this is Scoggins' shining light. This is a good moment with Scoggins.
She reacts like, what's her name from Jurassic Park? He left us. He left us.
That's not what I'm going to do.
Right? Did y'all appreciate that acting by the Raps?
Yeah. Mikey Raps doing some good work.
Saffron Burrows ruins that. Her reaction shot is horrible. Like, it's just like, oh, Samuel Jackson's then.
Her reaction is, oh no, my genetically engineered shark.
My baby.
And Janice is hugging stuff, which
she's
is
hugging
fine.
a pillar.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I love her hugging that concrete pillar. It's great.
Can't bite me if I'm on a pole.
She feels like, and I can't tell if it's the hair or but the Cassandra Spencer bit of Alien, and that's not the actress's name. That's the role from X-Files.
Veronica Cartwright.
Well,
yes, that's it. Yes.
Lambert.
Yes. Just
supposedly supposed to be a transvestite in that movie. They changed it.
Huh.
Wow. You know, Rennie Harlan wanted to make this like a Tom Skerritt moment.
Yes.
In the commentary, he compared it to a Tom Skerritt moment from Alien.
Sure.
But here's the thing. In Alien, was Tom Skerritt that big when Alien came out? Because in
Allegedly
Alien, you just don't...
No.
Really?
What?
According to Rennie Harlan in the commentary for DWC, Tom Skerritt was the only known name pre-Alien, and then they killed him.
Not John Hurt.
Ian Holm was in that movie.
I mean,
John Hurt, yeah, those guys had careers. Yaphet Kotto.
Yaphet Kotto was kicking around in there.
I don't know these guys' careers pre-1979. This is when they all started acting, as far as I'm concerned.
I will scare it up sometime. Scare it.
Oh no,
Here we go.
Oh, Yaphet Kotto was in Live and Let Die
there.
in 73, so okay. He's been a Bond villain. He was the most famous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't
In
remember
the best
what
Bond
we were talking
movie.
about.
That's why I was saying it's more like a Psycho moment where you kill Janet Leigh or you kill Drew Barrymore in Scream, where it's like, oh wow, you got the big actor out of the movie.
Yeah.
But the difference is, like in Psycho, it's like Norman Bates is interesting. We've seen the shark.
Well, yeah, we've still got Preacher. Preacher's a very interesting character, a great character.
Yeah, I am sad that there's no Preacher in this minute for us to talk about.
There's
Although
no
that really
Preacher for a
hasn't stopped
while.
us from talking about anything else.
He's not in the next scene either. He's like at the very end of the one after. Is the
That's
next
true,
time we see
yeah.
Preach.
This scene begins with the aftermath of his oven explosion.
Yeah, which Scoggins can tell happened inside because of the depth of the vibrations.
Because after all, he's the engineer.
Anybody have thrown a lighter before?
We talked about that last week. Apparently
we went over that last week. Yeah.
Every movie I've ever seen, when someone throws a lighter, it stays lit.
What?
Apparently, we talked about it last week. Apparently, it works. We'll just take my word for it. It works.
All right. Look over here. Look over here. Elephant.
Why does Preacher call Scoggins Scoggins, but Janice calls Scoggins Scoggs?
No, he calls him Scoggs, and then when he really needs him to pay attention, he calls him Tom.
Well, and Janice calls him Scoggs because otherwise his surname is too similar to hers. It's Scoggins and Higgins. She's trying to differentiate the two. She has nothing to do with this guy.
Hey, Scoggins, what you mean Higgins? That's your last name. Wait, what?
What do you want, Higgs?
Wait.
Do you think it designates a level of familiarity? Like the others go with Scoggs because they are more familiar than Preacher is with him?
But
so in the
they're like
deleted
best friends.
Yeah. He dedicates a shark murder to Scoggins.
Okay, so then is the Scoggins more of the level of familiarity, because Scoggins has said to Preacher, I actually don't like when people call me Scoggs. And Preacher says, because we are best friends, I will then only call you Scoggins. Whereas everyone else, they're not on that level, so they just go with Scoggs. And internally, Rappaport's going, I hate it when they call me Scoggs. I wish they would call me Scoggins.
I think it's the other way around.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
He's told Preacher, I hate when people call me Scoggins. I like being called Scoggs. And Preacher's like, Scoggins from now on, mate.
Yeah, you can't give yourself your own nickname, buddy.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
You don't get to pick what I call you.
That is probably more accurate to best friends, yes.
No, I like the supportive best friend. And Scoggins is silently suffering while everyone calls him Scoggs, but Preacher knows him.
Silently.
Scoggins
is shark.
Nobody will call me by my never done anything silently.
Yeah,
his song is called I'm Not Scoggs.
Oh, no.
Or get it right.
You put him on a balcony of some kind of observation deck. My name is
It could be a duet with Brenda where he's not Skogs and she's not Tower.
She's not Tower.
Yeah.
Oh wow! It's like a split screen.
Yeah.
Like you cut it. You keep cross fading into their faces as they. My name is really. Keep going back and forth.
Yes.
I'm not
Wait,
Preacher. I'm Sharon Dudley.
Oh, I love that. Wait, I got you, babe, right? Sonny and Cher, or I'm a little rock and roll and you're a little.
Oh, the little dance number. You like a little dance number?
La
I
La Land.
was
It
thinking-
Are they
Little
dancing
Scorpions.
around the shark that's tranquilized in the middle of the room? Are they just dancing around it?
Yeah. Oh man, that's beautiful.
No, it's not.
My name is Scoggin.
Well, I'm
My
Tower.
name is Brenda. It's a Flight of the Conchords song right there, actually.
I have a shark question about the sharks in this movie.
Okay, there's 3 of them.
We know there's 2 Gen 1s and 1 Gen 2.
Yes.
The Gen 2 is larger. It seems to be in charge.
Oh, yeah.
Do the Gen 1s have an issue with that, or do they take orders from the Gen 2 without a problem?
Well, the Gen 1s are the parents of the Gen 2.
Right, but clearly the Gen 2 is the superior being.
Yes, because it could eat them. I feel like if you had kids and your kids could eat you, you might listen to them.
Well, there's a deleted scene where the Gen 2 tries to tell the Gen 1s where to attack, and they don't do it. And then the Gen 2 slaps them around a little bit, and then they swim in.
You know what's funny? I can't tell if you're lying. That's the problem.
You can, DJ. He's talking.
Yes.
No. I
Did I
can't
tell you about the time?
if it's true or not. I think I want it to be true. I think I want it to be real.
Well, listen, I again want to hear some conversations between the Gen 2 and Gen 1, where the Gen 2
Hey,
is
we're
like,
gonna eat these
listen,
humans over here.
we got to get out of this pen. We have to. There's a whole ocean beyond this, and the Gen 1s are like, no, we have it good here. They feed us tiger sharks. Listen, everything's fine. And the Gen 2 is like, no, open ocean. That's what we need. That's what I dream about as a 8-ton shark.
It is the Gen 2 that takes the bite out of Russell Franklin today in the scene, because we see the next shot when it's swimming underneath. The smaller shark comes and rips off his head.
Yes.
So that is the biggest shark that takes him
At
down.
this time, do they know that their spouse/parent is dead?
That's a good question.
I would assume so, because they're smart enough to know everything else. They're smart enough to swim into and navigate the hallways with some
They're singing
difficulty.
songs.
So they know when someone is. Do they have mental connections? That's a question we should be
Ooh,
asking.
psychic
as well.
sharks.
Jaws 4.
Psychic sharks. Oh, why didn't we see it before?
There's something that amazes me now. How long is the Gen 2? How big is the
It's
Gen
like
2?
26 foot or something, they say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
and
not
we
45.
know that in the wilderness, great whites have been measured up to just shy of 20, but can reach larger. We assume they just stay too deep. Like that deep blue, the name of the great white that they keep seeing off the coast of Guadalupe is, I think she's near 20 feet, and she's the biggest on record right now. When you watch Shark Week programming, and they toss out these numbers, like, what's an 18-footer, a 15-footer, 19-footer, and you're like, oh, it sounds big. Often when you watch the nature programs, there's no frame of reference. Like, a shark will be on screen, and they'll be like, this is an 18-foot shark, but with no frame of reference, you're like, yeah, it looks like a shark.
You need a penny next to it.
You need, and that's something I enjoy about this movie in particular, that the shark brain surgery scene. Carter standing next to the massive shark really reinforces the size of the shark, of the Gen 2, and this scene as well, where it sweeps up and snatches Sam Jackson. The size of the shark is reinforced, and I appreciate that. It's a minor thing, but I appreciate it.
This movie's full of awesome minor things, though. They get it. They get it right. They know what's up.
If we're talking about sharks with brain power, okay, and I want to bring it back to Jaws a little bit. We're certain the shark in the first Jaws is one of these sharks, right? Because he's super smart, like like creepy intelligent.
Oh,
No,
the
because
films
it's a
are in the
great
same universe.
They're in
Yeah.
the same universe,
They
right?
share the number
Right,
plate,
right.
yeah.
And which
Quint,
means that
Tor,
Deep Blue Sea, Jaws, and Piranha 3D, I think, is also in the same universe because
Richard Dreyfuss is in it.
Dreyfuss
Cool.
plays
Yeah.
the same role.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But Jaws is a great white shark, and as far as this movie is concerned, we don't know that they're performing experiments on great whites. And maybe Saffron Burrows started with great whites, but then realized their brain to body ratio was too small, and so then she moved on to Makos. Now we know in the second movie, Michael Beach is using bull sharks. Why? I forget. It probably wasn't key to the plot. And the third movie is also bull sharks. So I don't know.
Bull.
It is.
I don't like the second one.
Maybe Saffron Burrows, follow me here. Maybe Saffron Burrows is the granddaughter of Brody, who changed her name because this Jaws shark keeps finding them. Remember, he goes to Jamaica and gets the mom or whatever, and starts roaring or whatever. Maybe she changed her name to whatever her name is in this movie. I just call her Saffron Burrows, whatever. And she became obsessed with sharks.
Dr. Susan McAllister.
So there you go. And Saffron Burrows. And she, it's all connected. She's obsessed with sharks because of what happened Amity Beach or whatever. Amity, whatever. So,
the banana boat thing scarred
her. The banana boat freaked her out, and she was like, "This shark was smarter than a human. Maybe I could discover something." Maybe her mother had Alzheimer's, and she was like, "Hey, maybe I could." There's some connection between this and Jaws that would make this a better movie. I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, I'll look up the ages later on. I love dumb data posts, so not dumb. I call them dumb. So then when people call them dumb, I'm like, yeah, I called it dumb. It's a self-defense.
Leave me alone. I call it dumb.
It's like, did you not
can't
read
insult me, I insult me.
the first sentence? The internet's mean. I just try to prevent that. So I like it. I'll look that up. That sounds like fun. I'll see what I can dig up.
Hey, Mark, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How
I
many...
love it. Listen, y'all, I am fully supportive of any question
Jay,
you want to
you have
ask
to
me.
say y'all. You have to.
I
ask
tried,
if
but
you
it
can ask
didn't
y'all.
come out properly.
Say y'all.
I tried. It doesn't, like, y'all, I can't, I'm English, don't know if you know, and like, y'all is an American term. When I say it, it becomes American. Anyway, whatever.
I know one of the great pleasures in my life was my mother's family is Slovak, and we went to Slovakia and hung out with her cousins. And teaching my cousin Euro, he was like, "What is y'all?" And I was like, "Well, it's a conjunction of you and all, and you use it when you're addressing a group, y'all. It's common in the American South, but other people use it for emphasis." And he was like, "What do you mean emphasis?" And I was like, "Well, if I'm very upset with a large group of people, then I would use the hell with all y'all to reinforce I mean everyone in the room."
These are all facts.
So now my cousin Euro, anytime he signs off any letter to us, signs off love and hugs to all y'all.
Oh,
Nice.
I love it.
Oh, nice. I like it. So how heavy do you reckon the ocean is?
Oh no.
Because
How heavy?
yeah,
The whole ocean?
Yeah, because when Skoggs is saying about opening the hatch to go up the Susan's like, but there's 1 million tons of ocean just dying to get in here.
Yeah, get in here. Yeah, the pressure. Yeah.
1 million tons is a huge underestimation because the ocean weighs 14.7 trillion tons.
She's a scientist.
What about in the Aquaman world?
Atlantis?
Ooh, I think
Jeez,
the ocean
like
will be
going
lighter because more of it is taken up of giant sea
Do you
monsters.
mean where Submariner lives? That's the only underwater hero I'm...
Are we counting the alternate dimension world where Aquaman's mother lived? Does that count as the water weight? as well?
Where she became a predator?
Well, yeah, for some reason. I don't know why.
Yes, we are. So Jay,
Okay.
Jay,
sorry,
let me ask you a question.
I don't
How
have
much
those
would
figures.
it be with that?
My research didn't go that far.
You didn't go to alternate world ocean water?
Damn it, I should have seen this coming.
Yes, you really should have. I'm surprised you didn't take that into
How
account.
dare you underestimate Nicole Kidman, who looks like she's wearing a mask of Nicole Kidman? How dare you?
Oh.
Shots
Iceberg,
fired.
Nicole Kidman.
No, I looked into
Whoa.
that, and I looked into when Russell's doing his speech, he talked about, like, nature can be lethal. It does not a candle to man. So I thought,
Right.
hey, who's killed more people? Nature or man?
Nature or man?
Nature or man?
The answer is man.
Nature has killed a lot of people.
Well, I'm talking specifically in 1998 and specifically in the USA because these are mostly American characters, so that was all they would care about. So in 98, in 98, the US population was 276.1 million, and the murders in that were 6.3 people per 100,000. This number is huge to anybody outside of America. And that works out as being 17,394 murders in America in 98. Again, that number is huge.
It's embarrassing.
Compared to 687 deaths by nature in America.
But well, I guess back in the day, like the Black Plague, was that spread by bugs?
Rats.
Rats, plague rats.
Rats.
Yeah, bubonic plague.
So throughout the history of the world, I'd say nature.
Well,
Yeah,
throughout the history, you have to take in, like, the hurricanes, the tornadoes, the earthquakes, the fires, etc. But then if you add in which of those, this is such a spiral.
There's human nature.
Because there's climate change, human-caused climate change, which amps up these storms and fires. And then if you add that in, then really that shifts the scale. The point is, what you're trying to say here, Jay, Sam Jackson's right.
Yes,
Nature
absolutely.
doesn't hold a candle to
I just wanted to